What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Beyond the 90 and welcome to this preview for Fulham. So, you've probably seen by the title, going to go through some of the comments that have been made by Steve Cooper regarding the game. Also, obviously, we've just had John Percy has announced, John Percy has announced basically that Andre Ayew, Jordan Ayew is on his way to the Premier, to Leicester City as well. So, I'm going to show you how he'll fit in as well as another signing, which is Oliver Skipp. So let me see if I can put this on screen just before, again, as the latest bit of news, get that on first. Leicester City close to dealing, again, 5 million for Jordan Ayew, the Telegraph, and I think they mentioned here as well. 5 million plus another further 3 in add-ons. For me, this is a lot of money. And I think, and again, he's undergoing his medical today in the afternoon. With Crystal Palace, and he could be used again across the front line. Interestingly, Leicester City are hopeful of 2 more attackers before the end of next week transfer deadline day. Now, from what I've heard, potentially another one could be Dacha Fofana. Again, that's been rumoured for a while as well. Leicester City might go for a younger upcoming talent on a longer term target, maybe even spending upwards of 30 million. But coming back to Jordan Ayew, again, it kind of, when I looked at it, I thought, oh, we are overpaying for this. And then I looked at the stats and things and once looked, and it's all right. I think it's just a bit confusing. The messaging for me is a bit confusing. We don't have enough money to get Carvalho or do this or get certain players. We have enough money to spend 25 million on Skipp or close to 30 million, I think, or 20 to 30 million, or when we've got 8 million for Ayew. What is Steve Cooper trying to do? I think, so it's obvious. And I think at the beginning of the season, they probably had all these targets, and Enzo sent out a few targets. Go, I want to scout this person, have a look at this person, have a look at this person. Obviously, when he left, that kind of all went out the window. And with this, it seems like the club have kind of gone, okay, do you know what? And it reminds me of, again, I don't know why this is the team it reminds me of. Did you remember Cardiff under Neil Warnock, where he just wanted to play? Look, I want players with Premier League experience. I want older players, and they want to come in for Premier League proven. And I understand it to a certain degree because we want to hit the ground running. We want to make sure that I'm just checking my sound because the last thing I'll do, sound is working. Last thing I got to do, if you watch the one for Oliver Skipp, it went horribly wrong. I didn't have sound. Anyway, Jordan Ayew coming into this, for me, it's the mixed messaging is coming back into it. We don't have any money to do this, but then we don't have any money to go get Corberan, but then we get Stupid Cooper on a free, but then we go get Skipp for 20 million. And I know, yes, they are different parts of the window, but now it just seems a little bit desperate. Again, Jordan Ayew, am I a fan? I want to see what he can do for us, but I think he knows coming into the team, he's not going to be starting. We paid more for Jordan Ayew than we did for Manta Manson, which is crazy. Similar amount to Connor Cody, who can't get in the squad as well. But yeah, Ayew comes into that squad as a leader towards the front. He's probably not going to play every game. Probably going to play a bit part, to be honest. He's right-footed. He could probably slot in even 4-3-3 anywhere along that front line. I'd be interested if he could play as a second striker if we need a cam, because I've got a feeling the cam position is still somewhere we need to fill, as well as a striker. It would be the 2 positions. Again, John Percy mentioned 2 positions that need filling. 2 positions. Did it say 2 attacking players? Signing 2 more attackers before the end of the window. I've got a feeling that's a number 10 and a striker as well. Jamie Vardy was great for us on against Tottenham. However, I don't think he can continue for that long period of time. So yeah, Ayew, I think, is a squad player to help build the squad, and we are building that kind of Premier League experience. But the thing is, if we go down, he is the kind of player that will stick around and will help us trying to fight to get back up. Similar with Steve Cooper. He's kind of a Steve Cooper kind of signing. Is he overwhelming? No. Is he underwhelming? Probably. Is he going to come here and give it a go? Yes. Is that what we're going to need this season? Yeah. So hopefully it's a shorter deal. There's no knowledge on the deal. I imagine it's a 3-year deal, but 32 years old, taken to 35 as an attacking player, it's quite something. And the club don't have the best record with giving people low wages either. Hopefully they've learned their lesson. Again, there's only one way to find out. when it comes, and hopefully we don't break PSR from doing this as well. So another player I want to concentrate more on, not have anything against Ayew. I want to talk about Skipp, because I think Skipp's a really interesting one. The price is it's really high as well, and that's kind of showing why we never used to buy Premier League talent. We used to shop around in the market. We used to go and get a deal that somebody would go and train up. And I think the safety and security is what they're looking for this season. Somebody that's going to grift, somebody's going to graft, not grift. That's something else. Graft and stay in the Premier League. Now, looking at some of the stats again, shout out to Anil for this one, who's put these stats up. Again, if guys, make sure you go and check out his new channel. Again, I've left a link in the chat. It was Anil, and he's called the Fox Sake TV. He does some really good stuff. I don't watch his channel, not because I don't want to support him, because I will end up nicking his thoughts and his ideas. And that's me being completely honest with you. I think he's, again, really good at what he's doing. He did a 47-minute breakdown ahead of this game. So, again, make sure you check that out and go into real detail from what I watched the first few minutes. But I will end up nicking his ideas. Again, coming back to, again, I don't want to analyze Tottenham too much. I want to go forward to Fulham, because I think we're going to set up in a different way. My question is, for 20 million for Skipp, he's got to come into the first team. But who does he replace? So I thought of different formations. I thought, again, it's kind of an experimental one, and I thought of one that we're probably going to end up with. The first one I'm going to choose is, this is wonky as hell, but I want to see this. It's interesting to see what happens here. So I would say, play again. For example, there's certain players that don't deserve to lose their positions. Number one is probably Buonanotte. I thought he was really good. And the back four. So Christensen, Vestergaard, Fass, Justin, Hermansen obviously stays a goal. So that five, I think we could agree with. How to fit Ricardo into the team is another thing. And I think I went over that in the last video if you've not checked that out. Then coming into the midfield, again, I've decided to go for a diamond. And this is maybe a little bit of something that we could implement within the game. Then we've got Diddy is the holding. And then you've got kind of Justin and Christian that could kind of support alongside that. What Fast could potentially come as a double pivot, or you get Winks dropping, either Winks or Skipp dropping in to become a double pivot, so people aren't targeting Diddy. And something that Anil said, again, I didn't click this until he said, I thought it was really good for his post match. He was the press, he was the trigger in the press for Tottenham. So when Diddy got the ball, and I said he wasn't good going forward, and I think I was right, but I didn't really think about that. I think that Luke and Anil were right on his channel, where he got the ball, then they started to press, and they have a really high press, so he didn't have any time on the ball. So how can we get around this? One way we could do this is try and play a diamond midfield. And I think this will be really interesting. Because we've got the diamond field, we allow two things. One, it requires wing backs. So I think Justin can do that wing back role. Christensen can do that wing back role. It still doesn't get Ricardo into the side, which is kind of annoying, but that's the other position. Buonanotte, again, as that number 10. And then I've kind of got Fatau, and I kind of reason I put him into the team. Is young, and I think it was really something I did mention in the post match. It was really good to see him try and figure out that he couldn't do the same thing as he usually did before in the championship. Before he could just go, I'll take on a man. Where do I want to go? I want to go this way. Cool. I'm going to go and just breeze past the player. I think when he came up against, I can't remember the name of the dude now, Podro or Doji or whoever he came up against in the 1-to-1. He turned it on, he turned the taps on and went past. And then he's like, oh, hold on, the guy's still with me. Oh, and I think I saw him figure it out in kind of real time, going, if we're trying to get past a dude and we're trying to run with him, I can't just do my usual tactic of knock it and run or just breeze past the player because I'm clear of this. I won't say clear of his division, but the Premier League is a lot more demanding physically, but also because of the pace in it as well. For the defenders, you've got to be strong and you've got to be. So it was interesting to see him adapt his game, and I think he started to grow into the game a little bit more. I've still got a ceiling for him. I think this kind of game will be really good. So could I see this playing up? I think with Fulham, they set up like a 4-3-3. I'll have to go back and have a look at that one because they played on the Monday night, Friday. They played on the Friday night, yeah, against Man United. Again, from what I heard, it wasn't that great a team. Again, they play a 4-2-3-1. So looking at their players, probably Tete and Robinson as fullbacks, I think we could get at them. And I think they aren't as strong as they used to be. Emil Smith Rowe, I think for them was a good signing. I think that what's really lacking though is that Palinia. I think it was a really, really great player for them. He got his move to Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and I think in that team it will really gel. But now he's coming into this Fulham team. What can we expect? What do you think he's in the Fulham team? What he's going to do? And he's been replaced. Let me see if I can find the name of it, the player wise. Diop, Tete, Lukic, Pereira, Iwobi, and Emil Smith Rowe. Sorry, Iwobi is a winger. So I'm like, this is all right. I would say I struggle, but I think we can get at them. And with this formation, we could change it slightly. So let's bring that back up. And I think this is quite an attacking formation, like this. But we've got the overload in midfield if we need to. I think the areas that this is going to really happen is out wide. So Christensen and Justin will have to work really hard getting up and down that pitch as much as possible. Vestergaard, because we're going to play this, we're going to play more of a possession style. I think that we're going to try and control possession from Fulham. And I think that we could get I'm hoping that we can go into this getting all 3 points. Giving Fatawa this free roll, and it basically will turn it into a front three because Buonanotte can come up. Fatawa can then do his trickiness on this side against the likes of Tete or Robinson, and could just. I think this is the kind of game that you can get the best out of him. So this is a formation that I would say that I would go for. So we're getting the attacking players in good positions. We've got defensive players, potentially only if there are 4-2-3-1, same as us, then we'd probably need to say, right, if one of them go for Christensen, then we've got to pull in again Justin into a back three, potentially move Skipp out wide and like to cover in this position, and then again moving Diddy. That's what I'd like to see. Again, I'm all over the place formation wise. What do I think is going to happen? I think Diddy might be dropped. There's no way we pay 30 million, close to 20, 25 million for a Skipp, and he doesn't get into the team. Yes, he's only been training for us a week, but I've got a real feeling they're going to set up like this. So we've got a flat back four. Let's get into this. So again, there's not going to be any real surprise here. I think Vestergaard keeps his place, Fast keeps his place, Christensen and Justin. I think they make a nice back four, and keeping a consistent back five in general will help the team overall. Let's go forward though. I think we've dropped Wolford and Diddy because they will want to press him. And I think Winks and Skipp kind of have a previous relationship with one another. They know what they're doing. And I think this is the formation that we're going to play. Now, Reed can be substituted out for I think he was all right in the game. Didn't really pull up too many trees, which is again totally okay. Reed could be substituted for Ayew in this position. And then I'd settle with Fatawa on one side, Vardy on the other. And Buonanotte keeps the position, which I don't think anybody disagrees with. So that's how I'd see it. And I think this formation, we could go to Craven Cottage and go, we can take you at this game. Let's see what level you are. And bearing in mind, Fulham came up from the Championship with, again, Mitrovic, but they finished, I think, in the top 10. So we could do something like that. I still think, look, just stay safe. The rest doesn't matter. But I think this team could compete against the likes of a Fulham. I think we could take the game to them. I've left Jamie Vardy up top because the options are he doesn't fancy Cannon. I think that's clear and obvious now. I think as soon as another player comes in, I think as soon as Ayew comes in, Ayew could come in for Jamie Vardy as another replacement, or you could get a who am I thinking of? Mavididi, but I'd prefer personally Mavididi when he came on. I think he did a good job, but I think he looked a bit lost. I think I prefer Mavididi in this position, to be honest with you. But I think as soon as Ayew comes in, like this. So, for example, say Jamie Vardy only plays 60 minutes, as to be expected. And bearing in mind, we only played on Monday night as well. I could see this happening as well. Mavididi comes in, and then you've got majority of your signings in there towards the latter half of the game. Skipp comes in as one of the signings. Mavididi, so Reed goes off, Buonanotte. Ayew comes in. The only sign I think that's not there is Golding, but I've got a feeling it might just be a victim of PSR. I want to see him on loan and then him come back into the season next season, because I think he will be a good player, but I don't think he'll be featuring that often for Leicester City this season, to be honest. I'd love to prove wrong. Again, I don't know anything. So sometimes, but this is what I could see. And I think this back two of Winks and Skipp allows us to hold that double pivot quite nicely. That way that we can either they can sit in and play alongside each other. Also, they can kind of push up and play one, and then allow the balls to be played more directly. So if the ball wants to be played across, we can play it to Mavididi, we can play it to Reed, we can play it to Buonanotte, and we can play it quicker compared to the likes of Enzo ball as well. Then I keep the back four relatively tight. I let Justin and Christensen push up a little bit. I'm really interested to see if we can get a link up. And this is something that Christensen was good at, was the overlap. So again, could we get Christensen more on that side, pushing in the right-hand side and overlapping Mafididi? Because all we need then is a player arriving in the box. And I think this is something that we are missing. We're missing a man that could just go and finish it off in the box. I think that showed for the goal. Christensen made a really good run against Tottenham up at this side, then put a ball, I think, a couple of times, and there was just nobody there. We were just waiting for somebody just to finish it off. And I think that's what we could use as well. Ayew's quite good with his feet. So yeah, again, this is what I could think would happen for the game. In terms of the news from, let me see if I can bring this up. So that's pretty much what I have. I think in terms of some of the news in particular, when it comes to BBC Radio Leicester, there wasn't really a lot to go off. Let's see if I can find this one. So in terms of some of the things he's mentioned, and how they recover, there wasn't really a lot that he said. Skipp is available. I don't think Ayew will be available, to be honest, for this game. It'll be very early to tell, because I think they've got to submit it on Friday night. But again, I'm really interested to see how we decide to kick on and go from this next half. We've got a draw against Tottenham, which I think is a good result, even though Tottenham fans were unhappy, which I totally understand. But what can we do, again, going forward in terms of that? So, yeah, so that's what my little bit of a thoughts. The press conference didn't really say a lot, but I thought I'd just bring you those little updates. I won't be able to do a match preview because I'm a post-match because I'm away, unfortunately. But hopefully I should be coming back. We'll see if there's any Carabao Cup, because we're playing on Tuesday, and then we're playing again on Saturday against Villa. Saturday against Villa at home. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed the video. There will be more content coming, just not this weekend, unfortunately. So I think what's it called? Anil and Luke are going to do a post match. So make sure you check out their channel and tune into theirs live. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you all next video. So goodbye.